Bounces was the sport of the future, even though it did look rather silly. Imagine a world where knights don't joust with lances, but instead hurl anti-gravity balls at each other while strapped to a wall with what looks suspiciously like a giant elastic band. That's not the setup to a dodgy dream. It's Bounces, a futuristic gladiatorial game that appeared on our Commodore 64 back in 1985, courtesy of developer Denton Designs. This so-called sport of the future pitches two characters, the Viking-styled Eric and the very literally armoured Sir Ashley Trueblood, into a duel for points, pride and presumably bruises. The idea is bonkers, yes, but oddly charming. In fact, these fellas look like they've wandered in from entirely different centuries and mistaken the arena for a fancy-dress jousting tournament. You see, you're tethered to a wall, kitted out with friction-soled footwear and armed with a device called a snatcher, which seemed to be part scoop, part medieval weapon. Set in a delightfully minimalist arena that resembles a sideways squash court, designed by someone with a fetish for ceiling holes. Your aim is to whip that floaty slugdonium sphere into your opponent's goal holes, who were misses, while doing your best not to fall flat on your tin-plated backside. The action is viewed side on, and while there's not much scenery, the two main sprites are beautifully drawn and full of character. Eric and Ashley look like they've wandered in from entirely different genres, but both take their elastic bound battle extremely seriously. You'll shuffle left and right, building tension in the bungee before slingshotting yourself across the screen with all the grace of a startled hippo. Controls are fairly straightforward: left, right, jump, grab, fling and collapse in a heap when the elastic drags you backwards like a misbehaving yo-yo. Snatching the ball is as easy as holding the fire button and guiding your scoop. Releasing sends it flying off in whatever direction you've aimed. Each tumble, wall collision or well-placed head bounce results in points. Managing your stamina is vital too. Leap about too much and your player collapses in a heap while your rival runs up the score. Rest, recover and hope they don't take advantage while you're laid out like last night's takeaway. Matches consist of two 90-second halves. Score points by lobbing the ball into roof-mounted goals or by flattening your opponent through either brute force or clever trick shots. Different goal holes award different scores, so there's certainly some strategy to it all. Every hole's a goal, so they say. The game supports both single-player and two-player modes, but let's be honest, like most daft things, Bounces really shines when you're playing it with a mate. There's something gloriously satisfying about launching a ball into your friend's face and watching them crumple to the floor. Huzzah! Visually, Bounces is deceptively simple, just two sprites and a very empty background. But what's there is done with style. The animation is smooth, the characters move convincingly, and the sense of physicality, especially when the rubber band comes into play, is surprisingly effective. Sound-wise, we're treated to another superb tune from Fred Gray that sounds suspiciously like a sped-up remix of Shadowfire. Very Fred Gray, very cheeky, and very good. It's not loaded with effects or layered instrumentation, but it fits the tone perfectly. But with the superb music aside, let's not kid ourselves. Bounces is a silly game. It's unashamedly daft, but it also happens to be very good fun. At the end of the day, Bounces proved to be a surprisingly engaging oddity. The presentation was slick and clean, with simple visuals that worked in its favour, and the graphics, though minimalist, are effective. The game shines brightest in two-player mode, but still holds its own as a solo challenge. If you fancy a bit of medieval madness with a sci-fi twist, and you're not above laughing at yourself while ricocheting around like a tethered loon, get Bounces fired up on your Commodore 64 and give it a whirl. It may just surprise you. Thanks for watching guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you're enjoying these nostalgic clips from our past, then you can support the channel by becoming a member. This opens up access to custom emojis and exclusive member badges that appear whenever you chat or comment. Or if you prefer, join us over on Patreon for early access, behind the scenes content and other exclusive perks, all while helping the channel grow and showing your support. every bit genuinely helps, and for that, I'm always deeply grateful. Before you head off, take a moment to explore the other playlists. You might just rediscover a few forgotten classics and unlock even more Commodore memories. Maybe check out Night Games. That's another superb game I loved as a kid, with a similar-ish vibe to this one. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye for now. Thank you to the following Patreons for your continued support, and also those who joined the YouTube membership. You guys really are the lifeblood for the channel, and spur me on to continue making these nostalgic videos. Much love, and thank you once again. Stay retro.